Oh man, it's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? And hey, it's Friday. I know a lot of y'all are getting off work now. A lot of y'all ready to get your weekend started off. So what better way to start your weekend off, man, than making a liquor store run, man? So go ahead, get your order in, and we're gonna get drunk on this Dallas Cowboy content together, man. So we got a lot to talk about over here in the liquor store, man. A lot of content we can get drunk on. We'll talk about Mike McCarthy and how he allegedly recruited Mike Zimmer for the defensive coordinator position. We'll talk about whether we feel our Dallas Cowboys got snubbed or not at the NFL honors last night. We'll talk about the continued coaching shakeup, because we're going to have a lot of different people on this coaching staff next year, man. It's not just the defensive coordinator that's going to have to get replaced. It's not just going to be the defensive coordinator, man. There's going to be a lot of different faces on this coaching staff this upcoming season. So let's talk about it. But hey, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, man, first and foremost, when you tap in with your boy Hennythemoor at the liquor store, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like button. I know not everybody can donate. I know not everybody can watch the full video, but if you come over here, I just need y'all to hit that like button. Like, the more likes that I get on these videos, man, the more that it helps me in the long run. So if you want your boy to succeed, be successful, grow, you want the platform to continue to pop and bubble, to hit that like button, man. It ain't gonna cost you a dime, and it's the perfect way to help your boy shine, man. Because that's what they really look for. That's what they look for on this algorithm. So just hit the like button for your boy, and most importantly, after you hit that like button, make sure you hit the share button. Because I also believe in practicing manifestation inside the liquor store. Now we know, we went out there and got our ass kicked this time around. I can't even hold you on that, but let's start off on the right foot for next year. So in 2024, if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win their 6th championship, I want you to share the content 6 times and drop 6 emojis. Yeah, share the content 6 times and drop 6 emojis if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win number 6 in 2024, man. Hey, Eastside Herald in the building. What's up with you, man? Let me show y'all some love in the chat box. Y'all already in line to get your orders in the liquor store, man. So thank y'all for rocking with me. He said, congratulations to Andre Johnson, Houston, Texas, first Hall of Famer, but not the last. Hey, I like Andre. Hey, I like Andre Johnson, though. So even though you are a troll and a dirty Houston, Texas fan, you still my boy, and I still like Andre Johnson. I'm never that much of a hater to hate on somebody like Andre Johnson. He was a monster. DP Johnson in the building, man. Lucky Johnson in the building. What's up with you? Miss Regina Green with the green, helping us practice manifestation with the 6 praying hands. Thank you for the love and support. LaCourtney Willer, what's up with you? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Peasy. Big Dow 8604. What's up with y'all, man? Thank y'all for tapping in and showing love. So y'all to hit that like button. Y'all to hit that share button. The next thing I need y'all to do is to slap the dog shit out of a Commanders fan, man. I'm still salty that Dan Quinn out here trying to recruit everybody and their mama. He up here wanted our tight end coach. He wanted our he got our passing game coordinator. He want everybody and their mama associated with the Dallas Cowboys. So we're gonna slap the shit out of Commanders and the Commanders fan base. We're gonna slap the shit out of Dan Quinn. And if you're able to do either one of those and you're successful, I will give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Calvaritas, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Hennythemoor, and come get drunk in the liquor store. Yo, Lunny, what's up, man? Thank you for tapping in and rocking with your boy, man. So now we got that out the way. Of course, you can also hit that Cash App or that Super Chat if you want to help keep the lights on. The Cash App is $Hennythemoor. Right there at the bottom of the screen. And of course, we are monetized on the page, so you can send super chats, super stickers, and super thanks as well. So if you want to help support the liquor store in that way, that's how you can donate. He said, what does that say about relationship with Mike McCarthy? This is the thing about Dan Quinn. What's up with you, JC? Thank you for tapping in with me. This is the thing about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn coached side by side with these guys for the past 3 seasons, right? So he spent more time with Joe Witt and Al Harris and these other guys than Mike McCarthy. Because Mike McCarthy, he's been hands-on with the offense. They report back to Mike, but But Dan Quinn was in the trenches getting things done with Dirty. He was in the trenches getting things done with Joe Witt. He was in the trenches getting things done with Al Harris. Those are the guys, that he worked with closely day in and day out. So, of course, they would probably have a better relationship than with Mike. It's not even about Mike in the grand scheme of things, right? Because if everything was stable in Dallas, I'm sure that there would be guys that would stay here, want to try out for the passing game coordinator position, but they would want to try out for the defensive coordinator position. But Mike McCarthy days in Dallas are not guaranteed anymore. Like, Mike McCarthy may be on the way out the door himself. So when your homeboy comes to you, offers you a promotion, and offers you stability, years and years where you can earn a bag and compete, then you really can't pass that up. So I don't think it's saying anything negative on Mike McCarthy. It's just the situation. You just gotta lean towards the stability. And they do all got good close working relationships together because they were on the same side of the ball coaching. But let's go ahead and get into the content though, man. So where do y'all want to start off? Do y'all want to start off talking about these snubs, or do y'all want to start off talking about some of these coaching changes that are coming down the line? I'm gonna let the chat box decide. This is a democracy in the liquor store. Y'all all paying customers, so y'all let me know, where do y'all want to start off today? It said DeRon Bland, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons. NFZ, you make me feel like we need to talk about these snubs. What's up with your B-Bird? Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the snubs real quick and get that out the way. Because Dallas Cowboys, we had a bunch of guys up. Yeah, all right, so Miss Regina Green also said snubs. So let's get it. All right, we talked about that at length yesterday, Darren. We talked about that at length yesterday, Darren. But thank you for tapping in. So let's go ahead and talk about the snubs. So the Dallas Cowboys had multiple players up for multiple awards. Dak Prescott was up for league MVP. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott were both up for Offensive Player of the Year. And then, of course, Micah Parsons and DeRon Bland were both up for Defensive Player of the Year. Numbhead Neil, what's up with you, man? He said, what up, Henny? Slapped up Dan Quinn 46 times before checking in. I feel it. So let's talk about it. And B-Bird, it was a snub. It was a snub. And I'm going to tell you why it was a snub. Because they had to rewrite history to not give Dak Prescott the league MVP. They had to literally break every tendency that they had for the past 50, 60 years of giving out the award just to not give Dak Prescott the damn MVP award. And I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna tell you why that's an issue with me. Right? So let me just show you the actual voting, how the voting went. Let me see if I got the right thing loaded in. All right. So it ended like this. This was the voting for the NFL honors. So Dak Prescott finished second in league MVP. Right, he finished second behind Lamar Jackson. I can't see the Quincy stuff. I'm not on YouTube. I'm looking at it from the program. I don't know how to unblock him from the program, but he's in the chat box somewhere. What's up to Quincy? All right, CeeDee Lamb finished third in Offensive Player of the Year voting, and Dak Prescott finished fifth. Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons finished third. DeRon Bland finished fifth. So first and foremost, let's start at the top, and I'm gonna explain why that was a snub. Because at no other point in time can a quarterback lead the league in passing touchdowns, be top in completions, and all those other things, and not win the award. Like Dak Prescott finished with the most passing touchdowns. He finished in top five and everything else, and he was the 2 seed. It's not even like Dak Prescott was a bum that could have get his team to the playoffs. Because I want y'all to remember this: Peyton Manning won a MVP as a wild card team. His team did not even win their division. His team didn't win their division, and he still won a league MVP. This is also the first time in like 40, 50 years that a league MVP has won the award without scoring 30 touchdowns as an offensive player. So they had to reset every precedent that they had in order to not give Dak Prescott the league MVP. And I know there's probably somebody gonna say some shit about some playoffs when it's a regular season award. So let me just go ahead and throw this out there. Lamar Jackson also has a losing record in the postseason. He's 2-4. They won one playoff game against a rookie quarterback where his defense did not allow a singular touchdown. And then they got beat by the damn Kansas City Chiefs. But that's 6 years in a row. They don't make it right either. Because remember, they had the numbers as well as the 1 seed. When you have the numbers and the 1 seed, that's fine. Lamar Jackson only had the 1 seed. He didn't have the numbers. Matter of fact, Lamar Jackson was the least statistically impressive league MVP in years. Right? In the modern NFL, Lamar Jackson is the least statistically impressive league MVP that we have seen. Because flip it around. If Dak Prescott was the 1 seed and he had the same exact numbers as Lamar Jackson, he probably wouldn't even make the All-Pro team, let alone be the league MVP. Let's be real. If Dak Prescott did not score 30 touchdowns in a season and had double-digit turnovers like Lamar Jackson did, right, he would not have won league MVP, regardless of the 1 seed or not, regardless of winning the division and winning all those games and all the other criteria they try to set for Lamar Jackson. They rewrote the rules and the criteria that they set themselves in order not to give Dak Prescott the league MVP. Because there's no way, but that's the thing, B-Bird. They change what they want year in and year out. People be talking about these quality wins. Where were the quality wins? When Matt Ryan won his Super Bowl? Won his league MVP. Where were the quality wins when he won his league MVP? Where were the quality wins when they gave it to Peyton Manning as a wild card team? Where were the quality wins then? Right? Like, they have a whole different set of criteria for a Dallas Cowboy player to win MVP. That's why a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, hasn't won in a long ass time. I think Roger Staubach might have got it. I'm a double check. I'm gonna see if they gave it to Roger Staubach. Cause I know that Troy didn't get it. I know that Tony didn't get it. I know that Dak hasn't gotten it so far. So let's see. Did Captain America get a league MVP? Nope. Captain America himself did not get a league MVP. So I don't think a Dallas Cowboys quarterback is ever going to get one. I don't think a Dallas Cowboys quarterback is ever going to get a league MVP. But let's continue on, man. That's the first snub. Because we can sit here and talk about snubs all damn day for Prescott. Because the numbers aren't adding up in that regard. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott finishing 5th. What's up with you, Willie? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. So I get it. They end up giving it to Christian McCaffrey. That's fine. Led the league in rushing. Really was the entire offense, the engine of that offense for the 49ers. So I'm not really as upset with that. But CeeDee Lamb finishing third when he led the league in receptions. Dak Prescott coming in 5th when he led the league in touchdown passes. Come on now. Even if you don't think they should have won, I definitely think they should have been higher up in the pecking order. Micah Parsons, I'm not going to argue that one. The one that really upsets me more than Micah Parsons not getting Defensive Player of the Year is the run blend. And I'm going to look at y'all and I'm going to tell you why. Because the run blend only gave up 42 yards a game, right, in terms of yardage. He gave up like 700-something yards. If you break it down, that's 42 yards a game. He only allowed 3 touchdowns on the season. He scored 5 touchdowns himself on return touchdowns, and he had 8 interceptions. He said, who had the better year, Tyreek or CD? It's real close. Like, the numbers are damn near identical for Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb. They're damn near identical. Then you also got to factor in the rushing statistics for CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb had a good season on the ground as a rusher with the football in his hand. So it's very close, dog. Like, it's hard to say between CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill who had the better overall season. I think CD Lamb did, in my opinion. I might be biased, but he had 9 years. So Ron Bland, 5 return touchdowns. But DC Worldwide Mafia, I want you to remember this. They voted on the shit before the playoffs even started. They had their votes in and cast it before anybody played a snap in the playoffs because it's a regular season award. They did not include the playoffs in any of this. So if we were still playing right now, because I know a lot of y'all are mad, that's why y'all don't care too much. I get it. But if we were still playing right now in the Super Bowl, they still would have held us because they voted on this stuff before the playoffs started. Right? All this stuff is a regular season award. Right? If it's hard to tell, then 3 is fair. Maybe not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a regular season award. That's why Lamar Jackson was still able to win it, despite the fact that he fell to 2-4 in the postseason. So I get it. We're still upset with the Dallas Cowboys. We don't want them to win shit because they didn't perform in the postseason. I get it. But at the same token, like, I still don't like our players to get hold when they deserve some shit. Like, they get all the smoke for not performing in the postseason, but they still need to not get hold for the stuff that they're due. Because this affects legacies, this affects contracts. This affects a lot of stuff. So I don't really like when they play these kind of games with the Dallas Cowboys. And to make it even more crazy, the Ron Bland had better statistics than Stephon Gilmore when he won his Defensive Player of the Year award. Right? It's very hard for a cornerback to actually win Defensive Player of the Year. And the Ron Bland did everything. The Ron Bland had more touchdowns than a lot of wide receivers did. The Ron Bland had more touchdowns than a lot of wide receivers did. He only allowed 3 touchdowns on the season. Only allowed like 700-something yards on the season. Like, the Ron Bland was spectacular. Had a record-breaking season as a cornerback, and he still could not do it. So, yes, I believe, and even if you don't believe Offensive Player of the Year, right? Because I can understand Christian McCaffrey winning it. Most dominant rushing running back in the league, got a rushing title out of it. Double-digit touchdowns. Like, he was fantastic for the 49ers. So even if you want to say you might be a little too critical Offensive Player of the Year, I can see that, right? I can see Offensive Player of the Year. But I cannot see the MVP, why that was not appointed to Dak Prescott when quarterbacks with less stats and less accolades won it, in a season. And I also can't understand why the Ron Bland was not able to get Defensive Player of the Year. And I really believe it is a bias towards people wanting pass rushers to win the award. Defensive tackles don't usually win it. Linebackers no longer win it unless you're an outside linebacker to get sacks. So I get it, but I just think it's bullshit. You have record-setting years by the Ron Bland. He should get it. You had Dak Prescott, blow everybody out the water. In terms of stats at his position. So the way I feel, honestly, you might as well have gave Christian McCaffrey the MVP. If you had to give to a different player outside of Dak Prescott, you have a better argument with somebody like Christian McCaffrey than a Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson don't even check the boxes statistically. Man didn't even have 30 touchdowns as a quarterback. So I get it, but it's just weird to me. But now that I got that out the way, I know nobody cares because we're not happy. A lot of y'all ain't happy with the Cowboys right now, but it is. B Bird with the 5-piece, my brother. He said, personally, I don't care about individual awards. I get bragging rights when we win Super Bowls. What I'm going to say, yeah, we lost in the first round, but Dak is MVP. And I understand that. I mean, B Bird, I completely understand that. But at the same time, right is right and wrong is wrong. Now, I'm still mad at them for not winning, He said, I'll worry about that in a second. Hey, y'all don't argue too much in the chat box, please. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't argue too much in the chat box. Personally, I don't. Yeah, but this the thing. Right is right and wrong is wrong in my opinion. Like, it's okay to drag them to hell and back for messing up in the postseason because they deserve that criticism. But I also believe if you do something in the postseason, in the regular season, that you still need the reward for that. It's two separate things anyway. You know what I mean? Like, your playoff legacy and your playoff statistics are already separated from your regular season. It's like two different seasons. So we finished the first season on a high note, and they deserve recognition for what they did in the first season. That second season, you know, like we sucked. Like, we wet the bed. We were awful. It's all good, DC worldwide media. It's all love, man. I said we're not going to always agree, you know, about certain topics in this space, but you know, it's all love at the end of the day, man. We all Dallas Cowboys fans. You know, we all just want this team to succeed and be better, so we can end up getting that 6th trophy. But you know, it's all good though, man. We just got to have more constructive conversations with each other, because it's okay to disagree, right? It's okay to disagree. But I think we just need to formulate our thoughts when we're going back and forth a little bit better with each other. Okay, we know what our team is in the regular season. Let's get to Super Bowl. That's all I care about. And I get it. I completely understand y'all trains of thought. I'm just saying, if we were happier with the team, this was still going to happen. If they were still playing in the postseason, they still would have hold us. I just don't like getting hold in general. I don't like us getting hold. But let's continue on, man. Let's continue on. So the Dallas Cowboys have lost another coach. It's actually a coach that actually interviewed for the gig. Aiden Dirty. That dirty motherfucker. Aiden Dirty. That name is funny to me, because like, hey, that's exactly how an old country person say dirty. So Aiden Dirty as their defensive coordinator. Seahawks have they're gonna make him their defensive coordinator. And I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him. I'm happy as hell for him, man. But you know, like, born in England, Dirty played in NFL Europe and the NFL before embarking on a coaching career. Now at age 44, he takes a big role on Mike McDonald's staff in Seattle. So I'm going to say this, man. I got two things to say about it. The one I'm going to start with, if Aiden Dirty goes to Seattle and is successful, and he blossoms and he has a great future in the NFL, becomes a head coach, I wonder, will the Dallas Cowboys front office view Aiden Dirty how they viewed Sean Payton and how they viewed Mike Zimmer? Because they looked at both of those coaches as the ones that got away, right? That's really one of the reasons they spun the block on Mike Zimmer. They like Mike Zimmer. They like what he did on the coaching staff back in the Gap, right? They liked him. They really hate the fact that they let him out of the door. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see if a similar career path with Aiden Dirty happens, where they also have that same sentiment. Because remember, they interviewed him for the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator job. They did. They gave him an interview on Monday, the same day that they gave Ron Rivera an interview. So I'm curious, man. I'm curious on how it works out. Now, I like Dirty. You know, I'm not saying he's the world's greatest coach, but you know, it is what it is. I'm curious, but because Aiden Dirty is now gone, you got multiple positions on your defensive coaching staff that you have to fill at this point. Because Aiden Dirty leaving means now you need a defensive line coach. Because Joe Witt left, you now need a passing game coordinator. right? So you need a passing game coordinator on the defensive side of the ball, and you also need a defensive line coach. Now, hopefully Mike Zimmer has some people in mind that can come in and fill those roles. But honestly, man, what I really hope that they do, I hope that they promote Al Harris from defensive back coach up until that passing game coordinator spot. That's what I really hope that they do. Said next season will be more divisive HTMs, especially if that gets extended and we don't improve. And I'm gonna say this about next year, bro. A lot of us are gonna be waiting and watching and hoping when the postseason comes around. When the postseason comes around, that's when everybody is going to actually care. Right? That's when everybody is actually going to care. Because at this point in time, we can win 13 games, 14 games, be the 1 seed, and we're not going to really be impressed. We're not going to be impressed. Right? Nobody is here is going to sing the praises of the players or the coaches or anything if we win 13 games or we win 14 games or we go 12-5 again. Nobody is going to actually care. So there's a level of scrutiny that is earned at this point because of what happened in the postseason these last couple of years. Been a top 3 team, right? We were 3 seed in 2021 with one and done. Wild card team. We actually went on the road and won a road playoff game for the first time in 30 years. And then we got bounced by San Francisco again. Then this year, 2 seed. Two guaranteed home field games if we were to win. And we got bounced, right? So first round. So I don't know. He said, what's the Dakota playoff record? 2-5. Just like Tony Romo's playoff record was 2-4. Right? The Dallas Cowboys have 4 playoff wins in the last 28 years. So at some point, I know people love to talk about the quarterbacks, but as bad as your franchise has been for almost 3 decades, with not all these players being here, you would have to believe that's an organizational failure from top to the bottom. Would you not? Having only 4 playoff wins in the last 30 years, despite the fact that you hit on back-to-back quarterbacks. Because listen, Dak Prescott and Tony Romo's ceilings are about the same. Right? Their ceilings are about the same. Mike, did you forget when Tony Romo lost to the Minnesota Vikings 30-3? Right? You don't remember when the Minnesota Vikings blew us out, or are you too young of a Cowboys fan? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all be upset. Tony Romo got his ass beat in the playoffs before, man. Did not even fight back. So all them boys done got their ass with the spanked. All them boys. Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, all them boys. Who the hell are y'all talking to? Like, you don't remember that. Brett Favre with the Minnesota Vikings and dog walked their ass. Like, no. Like, Tony Romo done got spanked in the playoffs too. There was no such thing as a 7 seed then, Mike. There was no such thing as a 7 seed. So no, of course he didn't lose to a 7 seed. They didn't exist. They didn't exist. And stop adding extra criteria after you get proven wrong, man. After you get proven wrong, stop adding extra criteria. Because that ain't what you asked the first time. You asked, when did Tony Romo get dog walked? And I told you. I don't care what the seeding was. He got his ass whooped just like everybody else that put on the Dallas Cowboy helmet did. They got their ass whooped, but it's okay. Cowboys ain't won shit in 30 years, but you worry about one player. We need to be worried about changing the culture of the Dallas Cowboys, man. You need to be worried about changing the culture of the Dallas Cowboys. Mike, yeah, you're not mature enough to be in this chat box. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When you're ready to talk higher level football, we might let you back in, but don't worry about it, Mike. You just came in here to insult a quarterback, but it's fine. Yeah, whoever got power, you can shoot him. I was gonna let Cuz make it for a while. Yeah, I will go let Cuz make it for a while, but we're on to better, more mature conversations to have about football. Team ain't won shit in 30 years. Team ain't won shit in 30 years, but it's one quarterback. And then he gonna say, stop making excuses for Dakota when you up here making excuses for Tony Romo. At least it was to a 7 seed. What the fuck does it matter? We ain't win shit. Ain't win a motherfucking thing. I'm supposed to care what he lost to. No. We ain't finna do this. Ooh. Anyway. Where were we though? Now see, I'm a damn hypocrite. I be telling Wes not to read the chat box and argue with people, and I be doing the same damn thing. I gotta be better. I gotta be better about that. But what the hell were we talking about? Tony Romo, the first fumble snap. Oh man. You know, I think some of Tony Romo's losses were a little bit more heartbreaking. Cause we had that Seattle game, and you know, it was the fumble snap on the field goal. And then we had that Packers game, and they called it the Dez, not the Dez, he didn't catch it apparently. You know what I mean? Like, it be some heartbreaking ass losses with Tony Romo. So what round are we replacing Michael Gallup? Man, I'm getting a wide receiver as early as humanly possible. If one of those wide receivers with a first round grade is still there at 24, I'm taking them. We're taking him. We are going to take him. Said, do we think we will lose out here before the season? No, I don't believe so, because the Dallas Cowboys want him. They already went and stopped him from interviewing, and he need permission to interview with these other jobs. So, but B-Bird, I done been through about that discussion, because remember, we can only draft what's in the first round that has a first round grade. There are no linebackers with first round grades. There are no running backs with first round grades. And even after the combine, there shouldn't be a single linebacker or running back with a first round grade. I already done chopped it up with some of the draft experts. They don't feel there's any linebacker that deserves to be picked at number 24. They don't feel there's a single running back that deserves to be picked at number 24. So if your team trade back and you want to get extra picks and get one of those positions in the second round with that extra second round pick, sure. But if you're trying to pick at number 24, you need to probably go offensive lineman, wide receiver, BPA. Because those are the ones that actually matter. So how much do grades really matter though, HTM, really in your opinion? I believe it's important to have center, but there's only like one center. It's the boy from Oregon. Like, that's the one center I believe is going to get drafted in the first round. But grades are important because it sets a guideline. Now, are they always correct? No, they're not. They're not always 100% correct at all. You know what I mean? They're not 100% correct at all. But I believe when you're grading out so many players, right? Because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of guys that are trying to come into the NFL right now. So when you have that many people, you got to break them down into categories about, these guys are good, but this bunch does this better, and they're this athletic, and this bunch got everything, and woo-de-woo. You know what I'm saying? So I think it matters to an extent. But we all know that not everybody gets it right. That's how Brock Purdy ends up being Mr. Irrelevant. That's how Tom Brady ends up being a 5th, 6th round pick. That's how Dak Prescott ends up going from a 4th round pick to an All-Pro. That's how Tony Romo went from being undrafted to an All-Pro. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. They don't always get it right, but it's good to try. Especially when you think about the amount of money that you pay people based on where you pick them at, so it's easier to try and get them at the right spot that you think they're slotted for. It's already hard to pick first round picks, as it is really draft picks in general. But is an inaccurate science, but we try our best. We try our best in trying to identify people that deserve to go in whatever round. It could be based on production, based on level of competition, based on an ensemble of things, athleticism, so on and so forth. He said if cornerback / safety Cooper DeJean is there at 24, I would take him. And listen, that's not a bad pick either, because I think that not a lot of people are talking about corner, but if you don't sign Stephon Gilmore back, you got a hole at cornerback again. You got another hole at cornerback again, because the run bland. What you gonna do with him? Are you gonna leave him on the outside? Or are you gonna move him back to the slot where he was making plays and making a killing at? What are you gonna do with the run bland? Are you gonna retain Jordan Lewis to keep some to keep some depth? Are you going to give Israel Mukuamu a chance? Are you going to trust Eric Scott in the second year of his development now that you know that Al Harris is going to be in the building? So there's a bunch of possible outcomes in that scenario. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't go wrong. I'm gonna tell you what the way I'm looking at the draft this year. The Dallas Cowboys better be plugging the holes on their team in free agency. I don't need no 20-year-old dude coming into the league trying to dominate grown-ass men. I don't think that's a good way to do business. Like, the draft should be some extra shit. Like we should have everything sold up in the draft and after free agency to the point we can draft whatever the hell we want. That's where we should be at. Like, you should build the team and fill your holes in free agency, and then the young guys that you draft are just extra. So, as a matter of fact, I should go into the draft with no holes on my team. I should already have my linebackers. I should already have my defensive tackles. Hell, I need to have my star running back on the team. So when I go and draft, the running back I draft in the third or fourth round, he ain't got to start. He just got to play a complimentary role to this running back that I'm bringing in free agency. This young linebacker I'm bringing in, he ain't got to do too much. He's going to learn from this veteran linebacker I brought in and the other vets on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be the mindset going into the draft. I should have all that shit taken care of by the time I get to the draft. Free agency is where you go fill your holes, and then you're able to draft what the hell you want to when you get to the draft. If I want that wide receiver at 24, damn it, I can get him, because I already done took care of my run defense. I done took care of my running game. I done took care of this and that. I can get that wide receiver at 24 if I want to. I can get that young upstart cornerback if I want to, because he ain't got to come in and be a superstar and put a cape on and save the day, because I got guys for that job. He can learn on duty. He can learn on task. We ain't gotta ask him to save the world. That's the way I'm looking at free agency. And that's really, and honestly, just keeping it real with y'all, man, that's really how I'm going to degrade the Dallas Cowboys this year. If they do not go out there and sign good veteran players in free agency, I'm not going to be very high on the season. If they do not go out there and get a veteran linebacker, I won't feel comfortable. If they don't get a veteran defensive tackle, I won't feel comfortable. If they don't get a veteran running back, I won't feel comfortable. So regardless of what they do, right, they can have a killer draft. They can knock out the park in the draft. But if they pairing that fire-ass draft with a Rudy Poo-ass free agent class, it ain't no good. It ain't no good. That's like having a Hellcat and you ain't got the damn motor in it. It's pretty to look at. I can't do shit with it. I got to take it up to the shop. Get another one dropped in before I can even drive the motherfucker. So it don't really matter if they have a fire-ass draft. If they have a fire draft and they stink it up in free agency, it ain't gonna matter. Because we done have plenty of fire drafts year in and year out. Last year, that was different. But we done had plenty of fire-ass drafts, and it got us one and done, or it got us to the divisional round, and that was it. Because you need a healthy mix of good veteran talent and good young talent to be a successful team in the NFL. You need guys that got the wisdom and the know-how, and you got the guys that got the drive, the energy, and the youth. You need a healthy mix of that on your team. He said V6 Hellcat is a scat. Man, I ain't gonna hold you, because you know you can trick out a V6, right? Because there's a company that sells a twin turbo kit for the V6 Pentastar Challengers, and you can soup it up, and they can make just about as much horsepower as a Scat Pack, right? But that's a lot of extra work when you could have just bought the Scat Pack. You could have just bought the Scat Pack from the start. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they gotta do better, man. You gotta have a healthy mix of both. You gotta kill it in the draft, and you gotta kill it in the free agency, man. Yeah, just go big from the start, man. And you know what? The V6 analogy, that's what we be doing. We be drafting the young guys and hoping those young guys come in here and they take us to the next level. That's what they be hoping. Man, I remember when the VAs only made $220. Matter of fact, man, I used to have a 96 Impala before I sold it. You can tell me that motherfucker wasn't a 4-door Corvette. Mug slow as a motherfucker, but in my mind, it's fast. It sound fast. It sound fast. Yeah, that LT1 wasn't going nowhere, man. But yeah, dog. But let's continue on in this train of thought. Yeah, man, I used to love that thing too. But let's continue on, man. Let's continue on, because apparently they're trying to say that Mike McCarthy called his shot. Hold on, this is not the one I was looking for. That ain't the one I was looking for either. This might be it. There it go. So apparently they're trying to tell me that Mike McCarthy called his shot out here with the Mike Zimmer. He said, who remember the 86 Transformer movie? A V6 is the first robot's Unicron 8. Man. Hey, it might be cap, but I'm gonna hear him out, and I'm gonna also try to defend this. I'm gonna look at it both ways for you, Eli. I'm gonna look at it both ways. So Dan Quinn left to become Washington's head coach 8 days ago. Mike McCarthy reached out to Mike Zimmer later that same day to see if he would be interested in becoming the Cowboys' next defensive coordinator. People with knowledge of the process said. But this is the thing I'm gonna say. This is the thing I'm gonna say. They played in the same division for a very, very long time. Mike McCarthy coached against Mike Zimmer twice a year for like eight seasons, some shit like that. Let me see the overlap. All right, let me see the overlap. It was a long ass time that they played against each other, bro. It was a long ass time. All right, so Mike McCarthy was the head coach of Green Bay for 2006 to 2018. Mike Zimmer was the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings from, let's see, how long was he there? 2014 to 2021. Right, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So they played against each other for half a decade, twice a year. Right, twice a year for half a decade they played against each other. So, you know, I feel like once you play against somebody's defense that many times, you don't really play somebody in NFL 10 times like that, dog, unless they enter in your division. Like you just don't really have that many games against people, and they done played against each other 10 times. So I think that he's very familiar with Mike Zimmer. I think he respects him as a coach, and I also think he respects his defenses, because Mike Zimmer used to give Mike McCarthy hell. So, you know, if we out here boxing and you be lumping me up from time to time, like, I gotta respect it. So he done boxed with Mike McCarthy and Drew Blood. So of course Mike McCarthy, when he thinking about getting a defensive coordinator, wouldn't mind bringing in somebody that he has a history with, that he has a track record with, right? And that's the same thing with that's pretty much the same thing with Dan Quinn as well, right? If you believe the reports, Mike McCarthy was integral in bringing Dan Quinn into the fold as well. I'm not sure how much of that you can believe, right? Because they report what they want to report. You'll never really know if this is true or not. But trying to be impartial, because I always think something is a conspiracy theory. I'm doing great, Jose. How you living, my boy? You been all right, my brother? Thank you for tapping in with the liquor store, my boy. But yeah, you can't always believe the reports. But in a situation like this, it's not beyond the realm of imagination to think that if you played somebody 10 times in a 5-year stretch, and that you would have a lot of respect for them. It's not above the realm of possibility. Now, do I believe it? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Especially because I also believe that Mike Zimmer might be a 2-for-1. I also believe that Mike Zimmer might be the Dallas Cowboys' next head coach if Mike McCarthy does not get the job done this year. If they don't go to at least an NFC Championship game, I feel that Mike McCarthy is going to get axed, and they're just going to promote Mike Zimmer up because he fits the mold of a Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones coaching hire. They have a relationship with him. They like him. He has history with the Dallas Cowboy franchise because he won a ring here as a defensive back coach. He reminds them of the good old days. So, it fits into the mode of somebody that's not halfway bad, and they are also comfortable with him. Yeah, see, that was said about Dan Quinn as well. Man, they're going to whack the Dunn. They're going to whack Big Mike McCarthy. But shit, I said this before, though. Even Tony Soprano got whacked at the end of the show. They did it stylistically. They faded the black. They whacked Tony. So, hey, either you produce for the family or you get whacked. But Jay Recruiter, that may be the case. But we're not doing the hiring. Mike McCarthy not Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones likes this man. Jerry Jones goes shooting with this man at the range. Jerry Jones has known this man for over 3 decades. Like, Jerry Jones is very comfortable with Mike Zimmer. So he may not be a valid coaching candidate, he may not be a valid head coaching candidate, but that is not going to stop Jerry Jones from hiring him. He said Jerry told Quinn to find a job because he was going to get fired. If that was the case, they should have fired him. They should have fired him first. Went ahead and got our coaching situation handled and let him go out there. Because remember, I'm not all the way sold that Dan Quinn would not have been back in Dallas if he didn't find a job. I believe Dan Quinn. Hey, shout out to Columbus for the $5 cash app, man. I appreciate you for showing love and supporting the liquor store, my guy. Salute to you. I believe if Dan Quinn did not find a job, they were going to welcome that boy back with open arms, man. It makes too much sense because they had their dude. There's a dude out there in the space. His name is David Moore. David Moore is a confirmed mouthpiece for the organization. They talk about it. Everybody knows that when David Moore drops an article or he drops something, he was bird-fed that by the team, by the upper management. He was fed that information to get put out there. The front office talks through David Moore. When David Moore came out and said, don't be surprised if Dan Quinn is back in Dallas if he does not find a job, they meant that shit. They meant that shit. Said, why some fans act like we too good for every coach? I just think, and I'm gonna tell you what I believe it is in terms of the way we feel about certain things, certain players, certain hires, and everything else. It's because we don't really compartmentalize the things that we're going through. We've had a 28-year drought of not really having the success that we want, and the issue is every current person that plays for the Dallas Cowboys or coaches for the Dallas Cowboys gets held responsible for the entire damn thing in the back of our minds. It's not really true, right? Mike McCarthy only been here since 2020. He ain't got shit to do with 2019 and back to 1996. He ain't got nothing to do with that. But we still have hopes for succeeding and everything else. So everybody that comes, interviews or gets jobs here or plays here, they get held to the standard of having to be the ones to break the curse, to get us over the hump. He said Trey is his fault too. The years that he been here, you can blame the years that he been here, but you can't blame everything else. And really, when we be having these arguments with people, they be like, I don't care. It's been X amount of years. Like, I know, but they ain't have shit to do with that. There are literally players that are going to play for the Dallas Cowboys in 2024 that have never played in NFL before. This is going to be their first year with the organization. And there's still going to be somebody somewhere on the social media sites, when they mess up, they going to say, I don't care about that. Bench his ass. It's been 28 years. It's like, damn, nigga, calm down. Calm down, my nigga. Calm down. You know what I mean? Like, I just think when you've been going through so much as a fan base, like, you're ready for change. You're ready for, you're ready to get over the hump. And sometimes you hear names and players that you don't think in your mind can do it. And I just think it's a culmination of all that stuff, bro. I think it's a culmination of all that. He said when Mike Zimmer cursed out the Bengals, he sounded like an abusive husband. Hey, man, it sounded like he was finna smack the shit out them boys, man. Man, yes, bro, and that's a good way to put it. It's trauma. But when you think about all the bad memories and all the bad thoughts and everything else that are associated with the Dallas Cowboys in the last 30 years, what else are they supposed to feel? And I feel bad for some folks, because you gotta think about it. We now have fans that are completely grown fans that pay bills, pay a mortgage, probably got wife and kids. We now have grown fans in our fan base that have never seen the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl. Never seen them in a championship game. Never seen them be the cream of the crop. Right? We have grown fans that never got to experience that. So we also got to remember some of them or some of the voices speaking. Because all that they know is this dysfunction and this losing culture that's been around permeating in the air. Like, we got to think about that, man. Like, some of us had the ability to see those games. Some of us had the ability to see the Super Bowls and shit. And some of them haven't. Some of them haven't been able to see it. Some of them want to know what that feels like. And I think they're just getting tired. They're exhausted from going through this same song and dance every year. So I get it. There is a right to be outraged in Dallas Cowboys Nation. But at the same time, we still have to compartmentalize who we're mad at and why we're mad at them. You know what I mean? Facts, bro. Like, man, it's rough. It's rough. Yeah, Kelvin Hicks, you've seen 3 of them. So you have a different perspective on somebody that only seen one of them, or on somebody that ain't seen none of them. You know what I mean? So I think it's a different perspective going around. I understand that, Kelvin Hicks. I feel the same way. See, Sugar Daddy 1 said he's seen 6 of them. So he's seen 6 Super Bowl appearances. So yeah, man, I think that's all that is. Frustration, cumulative abuse from over the years of watching them come close and fail. So I get it. That's at least that's what I interpret from it anyway. That's what I interpret from it. Now, see, I'm gonna see if I can find this Malik Jefferson interview. Because Malik Jefferson has some shit to say about the culture and everything else. Some politics but I can't actually find a damn interview. I'm gonna have to find it and clip it for y'all good people. But I will post I will post the generalization that was posted. All right, so Ben Larimore. Malik Jefferson is dropping some nuggets on the Cowboys defense right now on 105.3 The Fan. He said, spoke about the Cowboys linebacker group and how it needed to play faster, how he tried to help teach playing faster. Spoke about Micah's comment, I only play where I'm told to play, paraphrased, and how he thinks that's not the best attitude in his opinion. Made a comment about the Cowboys defensive struggle starting from the top. So pretty much, in so many words, he sort of blamed Dan Quinn. He said, hold on, Jacob Lee Master said, I want to be crunk from HTM's liquor store when we win it, not like when I was drinking apple juice, but last time we won. Damn, Sugar Daddy, your son missed out on being able to see the championships. He was born in 95, so he's as old as the drought. Damn. But shout out to your son though, man. He a real one. He a real one, man. But I'm gonna ask y'all, what did this sound like? He said. If you read these comments from Malik Jefferson, what did it sound like he said to y'all? It seems like when he said it starts at the top, it sounds like that's coaching. That sounds like coaching to me. He said, I was spoiled as a teenager, 90 Super Bowls. When I saw those 3 Super Bowls and only referred to those teams as the gold standard compared to the current Dallas Cowboys. There's nothing wrong with that because not many teams have won 3 championships in a 4-year stretch. Right, regardless of the era, there's not too many teams that's won 3 in a 4-year span. We talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is; he hasn't even done it. Patty Mahomes ain't even did that. 3 in a 4-year stretch, he ain't done that. So yeah, man. Sound like he snitched on yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Trey. So yeah, Mike O'Donnell, that is the gold standard though. But man, listen, when you say that the issue with the defense starts at the top, it's true. Because remember, Micah Parsons didn't throw Dan Quinn under the bus, but he also made it clear he can only play where the defensive coordinator tells him to go line up. If the play is for Micah Parsons to drop into coverage on 3rd down instead of rush the passer, that is really not on Micah because Micah got to do his damn job. That's the play that's called. And if he doesn't do his job, there's going to be somebody wide the hell open. Right? So, Malik Jefferson sounded like he did not want to be back. Malik Jefferson said he wants to go somewhere where he actually gets a real opportunity to play football. Malik Jefferson is not trying to come back to the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't expect to ever see Malik Jefferson in Dallas Cowboys gear again. Never expect to see him in there again. You going way back, man. He said Landry versus Lombardi. Man. But I feel that way, though, man. Like, y'all know my feelings about Dan Quinn. I'm not saying he was the worst defensive coordinator in the world. I'm not saying... He said that interview with his 2 weeks notice, yeah, he ain't coming back. Like the Malik Jefferson experiment has stopped before it started, because we didn't really play Malik Jefferson like that, bro. And we could have used Malik Jefferson. It's the sad part. We could have used Malik Jefferson. We were down linebackers, and we did not even play the man. Did not play the man. Dallas Cowboys were more willing to play a damn safety, a 200-pound safety, over playing Malik Jefferson as a linebacker, man. That's the sad part about it. Sad part about it, man. JVB boy, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Appreciate you for rocking with me, man. Said, think Clark experiment is over. The Dallas Cowboys don't like to be wrong about draft picks. Damone Clark was a draft pick. That means he's a son and not a bastard, in the words of Boss Cowboy. That means he's going to get as many opportunities as humanly possible. The Marvin Overshown is going to get his opportunities, and Damone Clark is going to get his opportunities. So I still need them to bring in a veteran linebacker. In my opinion, if you're gonna do stupid shit, you gotta make stupid shit smart. So if you're gonna insist on giving Damone Clark snaps, and you're gonna insist on giving the Marvin Overshown snaps before he earned them, well, I think he'll be a good player eventually, right? I'm not trying to throw shade at Overshown. I think he'll be a great player eventually. But if you're going to do that, you need to bring in a veteran linebacker to help them learn the position, because you can't have McCarthy as the damn... Said HCM Quentin Bohannon was a draft pick, correct? Yes, but he had the unfortunate thing of being a draft pick at a position they do not value. They don't value defensive tackle. They don't value defensive tackle. They shipped that man in the year that he really was probably gonna come on, because it usually take about 3 years. And this is probably the year you would have got the most out of Quentin Bohannon if you gave him opportunities. That is. Johnny Woods, my boy, he said, "I'm so happy we got Zimmer. Don't give what nobody thinks negative about that. It's up and it's stuck." Anyway, what's up, y'all? And that's the thing, Wilson. Overshown might be a great player. He might not. We don't know. But I know the pattern of the front office. If you're a top 100 pick, they're going to make sure that you play. The same way that Schoonmaker got snaps and targets when he probably didn't deserve them, they're going to give snaps and opportunities to Overshown, because he's a top 100 pick. And they like the story, and they like that he's from Texas, and he's a Texas kid, and he's going to probably sell jerseys. They like guys like that they bring in, and they draft. They one of their guys. They want to make themselves look right by drafting him. And I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad player. He might be awesome, but he also might not. But it's just the way that the Dallas Cowboys front office handles business. They love giving opportunities to their young guys, because they're cost efficient, and it also makes them look right in their draft analysis. So we'll figure it out. He said Zimmer, and listen, I hope Zimmer changes that, because I'm gonna tell you this: if this is the same Mike Zimmer from before, that was hard nosed, no nonsense, hold guys accountable. If Overshown actually plays, then he earned every rep. I'm gonna put it like that then. I'm glad that you threw that out there about Zimmer. If Zimmer is allowed to coach the way that he's supposed to coach, and he's allowed to let the players he wants to play, then we will know everything that we need to know. If they get out of that good old boy, we like our guys, we're going to promote our guys, we're going to play our draft picks over the free agent guys mentality, and they just let the best player play, then, you know, if Overshown does get on the field under those circumstances, then that's all I need to know. He definitely will deserve it at that point. And I think we ourselves will get an inkling about it during training camp and preseason. We'll get an inkling about it, right? We'll be there. We'll know Wes will be there. I'll try to get out there this year. Landlord will be out there. Law and then will be out there. They will be able to gauge. New media will be able to gauge what the hell is going on. They'll be able to gauge what's going on. They'll know if they out there playing favorites on who's actually performing, who deserves snaps and everything else. We'll know. They'll see all the snaps. They'll see every preseason game. We'll know. We'll know if you deserve to play or not. So I hope that ends up being the thing, bro. I really do. Said CFO and Emmett was excited for Zimmer. He was. Emmitt Smith was excited for Zimmer. Matter of fact, let me see, because they got a bunch. You know, everybody and their mama out there at the Super Bowl. So there's a bunch of guys they interviewed. You know what I'm saying? They interviewed Emmitt Smith. They interviewed they interviewed Moose Johnson. They interviewed Demarcus Ware. There are a bunch of guys that they gave interviews out there at in Vegas for the Super Bowl. Ooh, yeah, bro. I feel sorry for Darren Woodson. I do feel sorry for Darren Woodson. Cause at this point, man, how many times is he going to get snubbed? How many times? They let Devin Hester into the. You gotta think about it. They let Devin Hester, and I'm not saying anything bad about Devin Hester. He was the greatest returner. But how the hell a return man get in before Darren Woodson? How the hell a return man get in before Darren Woodson? One of the best secondary players ever. I don't get it. But that definitely was a snub. I can agree that's a snub. He deserves better, bro. Matter of fact, this is Darren Woodson's resume. 3-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, Dallas Cowboy Ring of Honor, Bart Star Award winner, 3-time Super Bowl winner, 1,350 tackles in his career, 23 interceptions for his career, 17 forced fumbles for his career. Darren Woodson was like that, man. Man, it's sad. He said, is Devin Harper available? Let me see. Another thing, I don't know if somebody like Devin Harper would want to come back to Dallas, bro. I don't know if somebody like that would want to come back to Dallas. And I think he's under contract right now. He's signed with the Bengals. Yeah, he signed with the Bengals and he played special team for them. But yeah, he didn't get no burn in Dallas. So I don't know if somebody who got treated the way that he did would come back out and and play for us. Yeah, I wouldn't. Like, you can't just treat me bad and expect for me to come back. You know what I'm saying? Especially, he'll probably get more opportunities to grow and have a football career somewhere else than he will in Dallas. They could have, if Dallas wanted him that bad, they would have did right by him the first time around. They would have did right by Devin Harper the first time around. You needed linebackers, and you didn't let him play. You cut him. You cut Devin Harper for no apparent reason. But you kept the fullback on the team that you don't really utilize correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all had a bunch of shit that y'all could have did before y'all cut Devin Harper. Bunch of things you could have did. Said Wilson, the reason you played safety, man. Wilson was like that, bro. JVB boy said he gotta go. Thank you for showing love, my boy. I'ma holler at you next time, man. I'ma holler at you next time. But let me see if I got any more screens up here, man. Let me see if I got any more screens up here. Yeah, they doing Darren Wilson bad, man. Doing Darren Wilson horribly wrong. So this one tripped me out though. So I want to get the pulse of the nation. I want to know how y'all feel about the comments of Emmitt Smith. The same way that folks were very happy about, the same way that Emmitt Smith was very happy about getting Zimmer. Because remember, he spent time with Zimmer. He was on the coaching staff, so he knows Zimmer. He knows him very well. So the same way he was very high on Zimmer, he was very low on Mike McCarthy. He was low on Mike McCarthy, man. They asked Emmitt Smith, why is Mike McCarthy back in Dallas? And he said, because I'm not the GM. So Emmitt Smith said he would have been done whacked the done. He would have been done put money on that man's head and got him stretched out, man. He would have put 2 in the head, 2 in the chest, just to make good measure he was gone. He would have whacked Big Mike McCarthy. And my question is, would y'all have fired Mike McCarthy after that debacle? Would y'all have fired Mike McCarthy? I want to know. Just put, and this is a why, a yes or no. You ain't got to explain it. You ain't got to explain it at all. Put a Y for yes. Put an N for no. Would y'all have whacked Big Mike McCarthy? Kelvin Hicks said yes. Iceberg, no. DC, yes. He would have whacked the done. My boy said no. What's up, Beat by Money? Jive said yes. Johnny Woods, no. T-Jack immediately. Clebo, hell yeah. Cynthia, no. Shout out to Cynthia Casillas. Todd Cowboys, no. Mike Aldana, see ya, Mike. Goose, no. It's about, man, we're literally about 50-50. He said, Trey said he had Dak out there like with the deer eye. He said, yes. I honestly don't think any other coach would have done what McCarthy has done up to this point. So, no. 434 Cowboy said, no. Paul said, no, man, not the Don, not the Godfather. But listen, I understand why we kept Mike McCarthy too, though. I do. Hey, turn that down, Jay. It's a little too loud. You'll get me demonetized. You good? I need to do a poll, don't I? All right, let me go to my page so we can do a poll. Let me go to my page so we can do a poll real quick, man. Because y'all out here doing Mike McCarthy crazy. All right, let me start a poll. All right, so I'm going to put another poll up then, man. I'm going to put a poll up. And that way y'all can actually vote on it. So I'm going to give y'all time. Said, worst part is I probably would have promoted Dan Quinn head coach. What's up with you, the original people? Thank you for tapping in. Salute to you. Let me see. I think it's official at this point. Let me double check this to make sure. While y'all do the poll, I'll double check to make sure if he done signed his paperwork. All right, so Michael Gelkin said the process is ongoing. Process is ongoing, so it's not official. They're working out the details, but I highly doubt anything changes and he doesn't get the job. It's pretty much official. They haven't made it official just yet. Yeah, they trying to get the language together. From what I understand anyway, that's what they're trying to do, is get the language together. Said my personal opinion is no, but I respect others. We all want damn Super Bowl. And that's the thing, man. If y'all told me y'all wanted to whack Mike McCarthy, I would hear you out about it. If y'all told me y'all wanted to keep Mike McCarthy, I could also understand that shit too. Cause we can possibly could do better, but we also know from experience that we can do worse. We lived through 10 years of Jason Garrett. We lived through 10 years of Jason Garrett. We lived through that. We lived through Mr. 8-8, 3 back-to-back 8-8 seasons. Had a 6-10 season shoved in there too. So yeah, man, we could have did worse, but we also are ready to make the next step in playoff success, right? So I get it. I understand both outlooks and the mindset of the thing, man. Because a lot of times there's really not a black and white answer. Like there's mostly shades of gray in life. Yeah, there's mostly shades of grays in life, man. Cause we went from being upset about 8-8 seasons to being upset about 12-5 seasons. So we did make a step in the right direction. Mr. Clapping and smiling at the interception. Yeah, man. Facts. So we could have did worse now. We could do worse about McCarthy. So I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that forgets where they come from. You know what I'm saying? You know how folk get a little bit of money and they act like they ain't never ate no ramen noodles before and never had a mayonnaise sandwich or nothing like that. Like they always done had it? No. We can't be like that. We can't have a little prosperity and forget where the hell we was. Right? We can't have a little prosperity and forget what the hell we went through. Said, what do we really know about Eric Bieniemy? Let's take a look. So I have nothing prepared for this, but I have been a pro Eric Bieniemy guy. I have been a super pro Eric Bieniemy. So let me see. So he started as a Kansas City Chiefs running back coach when he got to the NFL. He was a running backs coach for the Vikings, assistant head coach and running back coach in 2010. He ended up being the running back coach for the Chiefs from 2013 to 2017. Their offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2022. He was the assistant head coach / offensive coordinator last year for the Commanders. Now, I wouldn't mind having Eric Bieniemy in here. I would not mind having him because the same way that we're happy that Mike Zimmer will hold defensive players accountable, I know for a fact that Eric Bieniemy will hold offensive players accountable. Like he don't take no shit. He don't. So, and he was in that modernized West Coast system that Andy Reid was running. Like he did great play design things. Like he had some good shit in his playbook. So if you want to bring him in as an offensive assistant head coach, whatever, run game coordinator, it doesn't really matter. Bring him in, get his offensive mind in the building, and see if he can help Mike McCarthy as a play caller. He said, "Yeah, I seen that he went out there and gave an interview. Not an interview. He gave a pregame speech to the Chiefs players. I have seen that, but I still wouldn't mind bringing him in here because, like you said, because it's not contractually and because money talks, we'll figure something out. Because if he can do all that, I need him to come over here and galvanize my team." He said, "Only reason I would have fired Mike is to show that we're serious about winning 6. Mike doesn't have any fire in him." Like I said, man, like if you want to get rid of Mike McCarthy, I understand that. If you want to keep Mike McCarthy, I understand that too. He said, check Eric's resume. Yeah, Eric Bieniemy got a good track record, man. Got a good track record. Former second-round pick running back, played at Colorado. Played like 9 years in the NFL as a running back. Became a running back coach for Colorado, his alma mater. Helped orchestrate some of the best offenses in the NFL when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. So All right, I'm gonna let y'all keep voting on this too, man. Because right now, there's only 37 votes in there. I know there's 98 people watching. So y'all keep those votes going on the poll, man. Y'all keep those votes going on the poll. Does McCarthy get more vocal this season? There were a few moments this season after a F up, he say something to. Hold on. To Dan and others, to Dak and others. I don't know. I wonder. I don't know if that's on brand with his personality or not. Like some shit got to just be in you. If you're not a fiery, cuss everybody out kind of coach, and you actually do that, then you're not really, going to get through to your guys, because that's inauthentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, people respect shit more when it's real. Like, anybody can be a fake tough guy and a fake motivator and shit like that. Like, people know who you are. They done spent years around Mike McCarthy at this point. So if he out the blue just start cussing them out and doing this and doing that, it wouldn't be well received. I said, Ready Red, so you already know I fired his ass. That's my boy right there, man. What's up with you, Reddy? What's up with you, Reddy? So yeah, I don't think you can just start doing something that you're not when it's outside of your character. If he was really like that, then yeah, but that's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? That's not really who he is as a person. So I don't think it will be received the same way. It's got to be like cussing Big J. Hey, the iceberg. I didn't look to see who was available, but after you set the tone for expectations, whoever you bring in will have to have it understood. I do get it though. Can't go forward with a plan. I dig it. Now, man, I'm gonna see if I can play any of these interviews for y'all, man. This is gonna be my first time hearing some of them as well. So there's a little 7-minute interview from Demarcus Ware. There's some interviews by Darren Woodson, Emmitt Smith. So let's play a couple of these, man. I'm gonna at least play the Demarcus Ware one because it's not long as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's not super long. So we might be able to get away with playing that one. So let's try it out. So let's play this Demarcus Ware interview, see what he's talking like. All right, let me turn the music down. All right. So we're finna go ahead and watch this, man. Let's see what he had to say about the Dallas Cowboys loss.
Okay, going into the Super Bowl, NFL legend and champion Demarcus Ware hosting the Super Bowl Stud Bowling Classic presented by Pepsi and Go Bowling. And D. Ware sits down with you now here on 105 through the Fan, man. Good afternoon. How are you?
What is up, fellas?
Man, it's so good to chat with you. What's new?
What's new right now is Pepsi and Go Bowling.
Yeah.
So we got this huge community event tomorrow to benefit the NFL Foundation, just trying to be impactful in the community. And I told people, if you can't come here, go to gobowling.com. There's a lot of things that aren't free, but if you sign up on there, you'll get a free admission to whatever local bowling you can go to, and those benefits are going to, actually those proceeds are going to go to the NFL Foundation. So anytime.
Also, shout out to It's Too Easy for the $5 Cash App, man. Thank you for the love and support, my brother. I appreciate you. I don't be getting notifications at all on Cash App, but I do see it. I do appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for the love. But let's get back to the interview now.
Time it benefits the community, NFL, good companies. I'm part of that. And that's why I'm here right now, and I'm with a great group of guys right now. I mean,
How about
come
that?
on now.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
I was going to ask you, okay, Creighton and those guys used to bowl all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you, because those bowling matches, thousands of dollars changing hands. And this thing, I was at a charity event with them, and it starts off all nice and, hey, we're bowling.
No.
And then it's like everybody goes away.
Yep.
These guys took the lane for the next 8 hours and then showed up for work the next day.
So we bowled 6 o'clock in the morning before our 8 o'clock meeting. CJ Anderson is a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he can bowl. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, in DTC where they had the bowling, it's a little bit down from the facility where the little movies is at.
Yeah.
We bowled. So CJ got me into bowling, so that's why I'm doing this right here.
That's perfect because he's built like a bowling
ball.
ball.
He is. And he'll tell you that too. But yeah, man. So it's cool to be part of something like that.
All right, let me ask you, how many? Everybody has golf clubs. Everybody has their own golf clubs. They're setting their bag and stuff. How many bowling balls you rolling in with? And I bet you your shoe game is better than anybody else's shoe game.
I got some nice shoes.
He does.
I got some nice shoes. I got some nice shoes, and I got a personal bowling ball too. They don't know that yet.
Okay.
I'm like 190, 200.
Get out of here.
I'm not like bad, but I told them if you're 2 years old to 42, you can come and get it. Like I'm not. You can get the L. All right. My little kids know that. I'm a competitor.
Are you trash talking more at the bowling alley than you are on a football field?
Oh, I talk trash anyways.
Yeah.
No matter where I'm at, if it's got anything with competition in them golf clubs, we can get on that later.
Yeah.
I like the golf too.
Well,
but,
don't go out with Terrence Newman. I taught Terrence how to play golf.
Yes.
And then the next day we're walking out and we're playing and he goes, "Well, you owe me $180." I said, "Wait, we were betting?" He goes, "Yeah, we were betting. Hey, you owe me $180." I gave him two $100 bills. I said, "I don't ever want to see your ass again."
Yeah.
You can go play golf with. And I was getting him out there TPC.
Oh yeah,
he was playing he was
all about competition.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, all you guys were competitive though, man. My gosh.
D. Ware, I know you were upset after that Packers loss. We're hurting right now. Cowboys Nation, we are. How are you feeling? I mean, we're now a little removed from this, but, man, I don't know. I don't know where we're going from here.
I'm still asleep. That's the way I feel. Like, you talking about pissed? Like, I was so pissed by the way that they played the game against the Green Bay Packers. It's one of those things where when you won 16 games at home by 30, cool, you go in there and you're confident. But you got to know that when it's playoff time, none of that matters anymore. The teams that are coming in, they're coming in hot, and they're coming in with a momentum that you can't just get during the season. The last 3 or 4 games, that's when the character of the teams really come together. And they came down to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium and just made a name for themselves. And I'm still like feeling it. I am the ultimate fan. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you played. No. I am pissed. I was. There's no words that I can use right now on the air that can describe the way that I feel, but some changes are going to happen. I mean, we play so well during the year.
Yeah.
That's great. But how are we going to get to the postseason? I'm trying to get into the postseason where I can get me some nice tickets on the sideline. Where I can start getting me some, going not traveling to Dallas, travel outside of Dallas and representing.
Yeah.
So
we'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Emmett Smith today came out against the coaches and said if he was GM, Mike McCarthy would not still be the head coach. Tony Romo said this team is too good to get this close and not eventually break through. Which one of those resonates more with you?
Both of them.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that McCarthy won't be there, but I know that there will be some changes somewhere to build some more tenacity of the team.
Yes.
Because on the defense, the way that the defense played, I don't know if they were there or not. The whole game. Offense, they kept us in there enough.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if you played tremendous, 3 or 4 games before that, teams are maybe scoring maybe 10 or 14 points on you, and you're going to slap 27 at halftime. It doesn't work that way. So there will be some major changes, which I hope are going to happen this year, because the team is too good. I felt like this right here was our year. Not like every year is our year. No, I felt like this year was our year with everything that we had. You would have beat Green Bay. You probably would have played Detroit, which you already know played before. You're going to go play San Fran, which you lost 12-5 3 times, so this time you can beat them, beat Goliath, and then you be in the Super Bowl. I'm going back into some numbers. I start looking at some of this stuff. So hopefully there's some changes that need to be made, and let's not worry about feelings.
Yeah.
Football isn't about feelings and emotions. It's about results. So let's go after that.
I want to ask one more, and you mentioned don't worry about feelings. With Micah, I know you got a good relationship with Micah. Is it fair to want more from him in those postseason games as well? Because I knew what we were getting out of you.
When you have a C on your chest, you're the leader of the team. And I don't care what other players think about me, because you nominated me to put the C on my chest. So when I say something, it goes. When I am not playing the way I need to be playing, which not going to be many times, I can be checked on that. But I expect a little bit more out of Micah. I do. I expect a little bit more out of Demarcus Lawrence. I expect a lot out of the whole defense that didn't play against the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir. That is tremendous, man. We thank you for your insights and your wisdom on this football team. You're the most popular guy on Radio Row here. We're getting the wrap it up sign. We'd love to keep you for 5 hours.
Forever.
We will. We are definitely.
I don't know about the most popular.
So
well,
much.
You are to us.
not anybody more popular.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
thank you, D-Ware.
Hey, thank y'all for having me on, man.
Appreciate you. And we're going to send everybody to gobowling.com for that free round and have a great week. And best of luck to you. Always
go bowling.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that was D. Ware, former Dallas Cowboy, and shit, man. He said a bunch of good things though, man. Because when you think about it, shouldn't you expect more from the players that are captains on your teams? Shouldn't you expect more from a Micah Parsons? Shouldn't you expect more from a Demarcus Lawrence? And I know things were not going well. Things did not go well. They were not able to stop the run. They were beaten into submission physically. They got outperformed. But you should be able to ask your defense. And remember, the defense was supposed to be the unit that was carrying this team, right? Going into the season this year, the defense was expected to do the heavy lifting and to carry along the offense. That was what the narrative was going to be. And it didn't end up being that. This same defense turned into a turnstile against teams with decent records. Any team with half a post butchered this team, right? Butchered this defense. It was supposed to be the new doomsday defense, remember? Right? So the defense is the one, in my opinion, that didn't live up to the hype. Most everybody thought the offense would take a step back this year. Everybody and their mama thought the offense would take a step back this year, losing what we lost. You lost Dalton Schultz. You lost Ezekiel Elliott. That was like, what, 17 touchdowns? You lost 17 touchdowns from your team. You didn't know what your healthy offensive line would be. You knew there would be a new offensive system. And your offense actually overperformed from the expectations that were placed on them before the season started. Nobody is talking about Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll is still technically with the Seattle Seahawks. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I will fact check this later. But if I'm not mistaken, Pete Carroll joined the front office of the Seattle Seahawks. He joined the Seattle Seahawks front office. So I think he's taking a back seat somewhere. But I don't think that Pete Carroll even wants to come out and be a defensive coordinator somewhere else right now. Cause last time I checked, he took a little cushy job up top. I do feel like Mike should have more of a grace period though, because this is his first year having his way on offense. Once he gets a running back and another weapon will flow better in critical moments. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think. And that's actually that actually is a very well put, because remember, we said that to start the season though. We collectively believed that it was not fair. It was not fair at all to let him coach for his job on only one season of work underneath his belt. Because remember, he didn't want Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was already here. They kept Kellen Moore. Mike McCarthy could have been in year whatever of his offense already. He could have already been in year whatever of his offense, having Dak Prescott develop, having CeeDee Lamb and these players develop, and we would have probably got better results. We would have probably got better results. So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I do agree with that sentiment that Mike McCarthy deserves more time. He deserves to be allowed to get more time on task before we decide if he can do the job or not. Because I know we didn't win in the playoffs, but Dak did have his best season. CeeDee Lamb did have his best season. So, you know. He said, "What's up with you, Ricky? My boy Reddy Red mentioned Hennythemoor. Why ain't no content creators not talking about cornerback position being a bigger need too?" We actually touched on that a little bit earlier on in the show. Because somebody brought up the thought process of using the pick number 24 to get a corner. I think they said Dijon Cooper, what's his name? And I brought up the fact that you are correct. If you were to take a cornerback with the first round pick, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Like you mentioned, there's no guarantee that Gilly would be back anyway. He's a free agent, right? Also, Jordan Lewis is a free agent. You have to bring him back as well. What are you going to do with the run plan? Are you going to move him to the outside? Or are you going to keep him in the slot? What are your plans with the run plan? Is Eric Scott going to be ready in his next step of development? Because you really didn't get much out of him this year either. So you are correct, my brother. And it's all good, Reddy Red. Don't need to apologize for that, my boy. You know, I don't have any issues repeating stuff. So you good, man. Like I said, it's a damn near 2-hour show. You know, like you ain't nobody gonna be tuned in the whole time. You know what I mean? But if I'm not mistaken, Gilly said he wanted to come back. Let me see if I can find Gilly shit. It'd be so hard for me to find these folks' interviews on YouTube sometimes. I be seeing them all on Twitter and shit, but hold on, that's something I could do. I can jump my ass on Twitter, log in, and see if I can find it there. That'd probably be the best thing for me to do. Definitely got to stop the run. But you know, all those things we talked about, stopping the run, that's a job for a grown ass man. Stopping the run is a job for a grown ass man. So we're talking about stopping the run. You need free agent linebackers and free agent defensive tackles. Ain't no rookie middle linebacker finna come in here and help me stop the run. Ain't no rookie defensive tackle finna come in here and help me stop the run. You know what I mean? Like those are not the kind of guys you get in the draft and expect immediate results from. If you want to stop the run, you fix that issue in free agency. So I'll do y'all better. If you want to know the Dallas Cowboys will be able to stop the run in 2024, wait till after free agency. Just wait till after free agency. You'll have your answer then. You ain't got to wait for anything else. If they don't get a linebacker and DT in free agency, you're not going to be able to stop the run, bro. You're not. So when playoff football comes around and we get beat the fuck up, regardless if we win 12, 13, 14 games, I'm telling you right now on February the 9th, 2024, if you don't fix stopping the run in free agency, you are not going to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. So you'll know after free agency. He said, how many linebackers would you get? How many running backs? I'm getting... Oh, you said the Gilly stuff to the Facebook. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Hold on. Let me check that out, my guy. All right. So according to the Cowboys Daily, cornerback Stephon Gilmore expressed his desire to return to Dallas next season, saying, I want to come back. We can't talk until March, but that's the goal because I think we do have the pieces to get to where we want to go, and I want to be a part of that. End quote. So first and foremost, thank you. It's Too Easy for showing love, my boy. Appreciate you for that. He said, was they a bust so far? It's hard to say. I really don't like giving the bust category to players after 1 year, but you definitely did not get any production from your for your draft class. Maji Smith didn't play a bunch of snaps. Wasn't really effective when he did play. Schoonmaker did not produce for you at all, really. You know, he had a couple of gimme touchdowns, but he wasn't very good when he was out there either. DeMarvin Overshown got injured, so you know he got hurt. So you can't say anything about him. Junior Fihoko didn't have any real production, right? He was a healthy scratch a lot. Eric Scott didn't play. Awesome Richards didn't play. Deuce Vaughn didn't get a bunch of snaps. Jalen Brooks didn't get a bunch of snaps. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, I'm being real with you. TJ Bass probably had a bigger impact on your team than all the other guys because TJ Bass got meaningful snaps, and when he got his snaps, he played well. So TJ Bass, who was an undrafted free agent, had a bigger impact on your football team. Than your actual draft picks. Your actual draft picks, an undrafted free agent had a bigger impact than them. It's true when you think about it. And you put it all into perspective. Like, yeah, you got more from TJ Bass than you were expecting. Yeah, and hopefully, and you know, the Dallas Cowboys usually get a ton of production from their draft picks. You know what I'm saying? Like we did not get anything from them. Cause you got to remember, man, we had draft classes where we had a CD Lamb, right? CD Lamb was in a draft class. Trayvon Diggs was in a draft class. You know what I'm saying? Like they came in together. Like we've had some fire ass draft classes. Dak and them draft class. He became your starting quarterback. He got Zeke with a first. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Jalen Smith, even though he didn't put in a bunch of production for you that year. You know, he basically redshirted, but he ended up becoming a Pro Bowl linebacker for you in the time he was here. You know, then end on a high note in Dallas, but you know, you got production out of Jalen Smith. You got production out of Zeke and Dak. And even Anthony Brown was a 6th round pick in 2016. and end up starting for you, right? Made plays. So you know what I'm saying, man? Like the Dallas Cowboys usually get great production out of their draft classes, and they just didn't do it this year. Said Jalen was a bad draft pick. But I'm going to say this. Because Jalen Smith is still in the NFL. He listen, I'm not saying that he was a God tier linebacker or anything like that. But he did make a Pro Bowl. He was a consistent starter for you for years. And he had a first round grade and you got him in the second round. Meaning you got more value from that pick than you actually expect from him. Because remember, you don't usually hit on your second round picks. Like Jalen Smith was one of the few second round picks that you actually got production from. So I would say that was successful. You got a dude with a first round grade in the second round. He made Pro Bowl, had a bunch of tackles for you, started for you a bunch of games, and then he left. You know what I'm saying? So I think that ended up being a decent pick. I think it was a decent pick. I'm not saying that he was Brian Urlacher or no shit, but I wouldn't say it was a wasted pick, man. Yeah, he had over 150 tackles. Yeah, he had drop foot, but they be taking those risks on players. They do. They take risks. They take calculated risks on folks. They take calculated risks on players. But listen, one good year is fine because you drafted Boss Man Fat with a second round pick and got 0 good years out of him. You drafted Tristan Hill with a second round pick and got 0 good years out of it. So in comparisons to other second round picks, he was fine. He was fine. You know what I mean? He was fine. Now I know everybody wanted him to blossom and become an all-pro caliber player and shit like that, but it just wasn't in the cards. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Also, man, RIP to Carl Weathers. I didn't get a chance to say that the past couple of days, but RIP to Apollo Creed, man. RIP to Apollo Creed. I know it's been a couple of days, but yeah. It said Danny Quinn sabotaged the season. I mean, hey, y'all feel that way about second round picks? So do y'all want to trade away your second round pick this year? What's a player on an expiring contract that y'all would use a second round pick on? What's a player on an expiring contract you would spend a second round pick on? I'm curious at this point. Yeah, Carl Weathers passed a couple days ago, bro. Yeah, he passed a couple days ago, bro. Yeah, he was Action Jackson. He played in Predator. That's one of the first movies I seen him in back in the Gap. Predator. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's end this poll real quick, man. Let's end this other poll. Hold on, let me go to it. All right, here we are. All right, let's end the poll. All right. So that's the poll results. So we got 69 votes on that poll. 59 no, 31% yes, 8% undecided. So y'all end up keeping him after all. Diggs. I think Diggs is the best second round pick that we've had. So yeah, Star Wars. So yeah, man, I think Trayvon Diggs might be the best second round pick that we came up on. I can't really think of too many other ones though. I can't really think of too many other ones though outside of Trey. Yo, Splendor Poppy, what's up, boy? Oh, it's all good, Justin Kitchen. We appreciate you for tapping in anyway, man. How long you time them out for anyway? A couple seconds? Full 24 hours? Said, according to FedEx polling. Oh, man. That is crazy. They ran that poll 4-5 times. Dak Prescott won every time, and they still gave that shit to Brock Purdy. That's what we saying, man. They hate him. 10 minutes, he'll be all right. We're finna wrap the show up in a little bit anyway. So it'll work itself out. It'll work itself out. But yeah, man, we've been on here for almost 2 hours. I do appreciate y'all for coming in and showing love to the platform and showing love to the content. On the way out, man, he said he got to my feelings, but he was right. It's all good, bro. It's all good. But yeah, man, just on the way out, please continue to hit the like button on the content. Please continue to hit the share button. Please continue to hit that super chat and that cash app to help keep the lights on in the liquor store. Please continue to slap the dog shit out of Dan Quinn and the Commanders, because they done rubbed me the wrong way. Up here trying to poach all our good coaching candidates. So yeah, man, thank y'all for everything. If any other news comes out, I'll jump out there and make some more content for y'all good people. That HTM tapping in when I can at work right now. Just spent $2K on deck boards at Lowe's. Good Lord. Ooh, man. But hey, I am glad you did come and holler at your boy, man. I do appreciate you. And I'm talking about the dog shit. Yeah, slap the dog shit out there, man, bro. Yeah, they wilding. They wilding. Like, can we have some coaches? But I get it though. I get it. But yeah, man. But I'm gonna holler at y'all good folks. Make sure y'all turn your notifications on. Make sure that y'all what the hell I finna say? He said, loving the channel, my guy, checking in from Atlanta. Thank you for the love, G Wood. I appreciate you. Fire content is always hitting up. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go spend some time with my wife. I'm gonna get at y'all later. If anything pop off, I'll be back on here, man. But peace, God bless.